Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to retake Gnomeregan. Two paladins and two monks walk into a bar. Hunter says, "Whoops!" Misdirection. Yeah, at this point, this would be the third time, and I'd like to say it's the final time. But I'm not a very good liar. See, there's actually a Gnomeregan pet dungeon as well. It's actually pretty mean. Most of the pet dungeons are actually pretty mean. Like, once you get past Wailing Caverns. I could tank. Sorry, I was just debating our options there. Although... well, whatever.
Can I help you?
That's right, I actually got the quest for
Off
this.
and away.
I thought it'd say human down here. Any particular reason you're risking life and limb?
You have a great day now.
How'd you get here? Ah, it doesn't matter. I'm Murdoch of the G Team. We're the best there is, and we're here to retake Gnomeregan. When nobody else could help us, the High-Taker found and hired us. But we simply can't do this alone. You're an honorary G Team commando now. Take this parachute and jump down in. That's new. I'm going to actually deliberately not tank for a bit, just to kind of see how this goes. Because, yeah, some of these dungeons have been good, and some of them less so. Oh no! Well, this should be interesting. Yeah, what they said. Huh! Huh! Oh, I cannot seem to take aggro off of Fife here. As is evidenced, I suppose. Yes, but I'm also doing more damage than Fife. So, logically speaking, I'm also in the 10% range, if that's even a thing anymore. I don't actually know. Not like Gnomeregan was ever a particularly dungeon, but... no, Pillars of Snow is our healer. I'd say the Paladin, but I understand that doesn't really narrow it down that much.
Salutations.
I hope that wasn't too much for you. Mission's far from over.
Off and away.
That Murdoch is crazy. Never let you find yourself in an aircraft with that gnome. Stealth usually isn't my thing, and it's certainly not going to be yours. Go down the hallway and dispose of the electrocutioner. It's in charge of the aircraft, and I hate aircraft. I'm not getting any aircraft. How can you see over that?
Daylight's burning.
They keep giving us freaking... parachutes. Yeah, I noticed it actually lists Corn Servant as holy, which is wrong. Like, I don't know where it's getting that from. Holy doesn't have Wake of Ashes, among other things. even listed properly as a ret there, so whatever. So we gotta like reset details. Like, hey, wake up. Let's see, reset. Reset all data. Let's see if that helps. Hey, there we go. Retribution Paladin. So yeah, we are completely running over this. This is kind of silly.
Warning, intruder alert.
So this feels like this place is going to retain the double negative, because holy crap. Like, I'm literally running without a tank just to make the point. In the interim, I don't know, I've never really liked the visuals of Gnomeregan, and ironically, one of the biggest reasons why is an aspect of visual storytelling. It's the frickin' radiation fog. Now, it's actually, I think, I might be gaslighting myself here, but I feel like it's not as bad as it was back in vanilla. But still, it's this big, green, empty place. Well, I did just cough a few seconds ago, Traxia. But I know, you said that before that. Either way, no is the answer. I will say our DPS is about where it should be. Nobody's completely dominating. This isn't the group being carried by the level 10 problem. Maybe it's just that Gnomeregan sucks? I mean, I guess that's an option. Maybe Gnomeregan just sucks.
Electric justice!
Because I'm sort of operating under a weird conceit here.
Interrupt.
Which is that the issue is actually the scaling. Remember, when we did Marden, that was mean. When we did Darmal, that was mean. Now we're doing Gnomeregan, and we're running over it. So the presumption there was that it's a scaling problem, but I wonder if it's just a dungeon problem.
Interrupt. Unlock this really quick here. Let's see. 10010010 011 00101. You know what? I'm not gonna read the whole thing.
Pleased to meet you.
Took you long enough. Get behind the pillar before you lower cover.
Right.
I'd keep my distance from B.E. Barkus and Murdoch. Neither is terribly stable. You are, so you get to go to work. Go down the tunnel until you see the Tinker's Court. Hopefully you'll know what to do when you meet Vashj'ir Thermoplug.
You have a great day now.
That's fair, Huthor. Let's try and do an overpull, shall we? Oh, shoot. Ah, shoot. Ah, shoot. I got rooted. My one weakness. My one weakness. No, I got rooted. I got rooted. And that was just the end of it. I couldn't do anything about it. It was like, hold up real quick. So now you'll notice that they can't res me. The reason why is because they're currently in combat. Now what the rest of the party is probably wondering is, oh damn, they left combat. No! My brilliant plan. All for nothing. For real, did they get rid of that as a concept? Like, I cannot help but notice that the mobs I aggroed are just standing there, doing nothing. Oh, hey, a quest I will never do. In fact, I'm just going to abandon that right now. Get out of my inventory. Get her. Okay, for real, I need to see what happens here.
Intruder alert! Intruder alert!
Like, does he just evade? Is that what's going to happen? Oh my god, Bragwin jumped down. Okay, I wasn't ready for Bragwin to jump down. I'm going to be honest. So, when Bragwin dies, I'm going to res her here. But are they resetting? They are! Wait, no, hang on. Now they're after Pillars of Snow. Oh, Pillars of Snow jump down. Oh my god, why did everyone jump down? Fine. Whatever. I didn't jump down! I was up here! I was testing to see if they could still pull them, because something seemed bugged about it. Alright, where's Brick? So I can res her. You know, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a note. Yeah. No, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Yes. And I'm going to give all the negatives to me, but also to Gnomeregan. See, the thing that's weirding me out is the easy thought is, oh, well, of course it sucks. It's a vanilla dungeon, right? But, like, Moradin, again. Or hell, like, honestly, Dire Maul is a much better example of that. We had to actually try in Dire Maul. Hell, there was actually a wipe in Dire Maul. That guy's in the floor. I'm just gonna walk past him. What's... Okay, they're like all aggro to pillars now. Holy crap. Okay. Okay. Hey, Goozy. I'm glad you like the VODs. I spend a lot of time and effort in those, so it's nice to know some people watch them.
Usurpers! Gnomeregan is mine!
Even when I'm doing silly stuff like this. You're always welcome to comment or shout out or tell me I suck. I hear it every day of my life. Literally, during the lunch break, I got another comment telling me how much I suck. Not a joke.
Explosions! More explosions! I gotta have more explosions!
And crushed. Just absolutely destroyed. My god.
Interesting.
I'd love for you to come aboard as a full G-Team commander, but I have other adventures to pursue. I'm sure we'll meet again. Will we?
Be seeing you.
Well, that was Gnomeregan. That sucked. I do like how they gave us the parachutes, because, frankly, all of us were doing those jumps anyways, so just facilitating the process. I'm with that. Okay. I need at least one other person. Let's go ahead and try to hit Uldaman really quick. I need one other person to come with me to Uldaman, please. That's true, Lord Hermit. My sister tells me that all the time. Yes and no, Uthor. That's the best part. in one of the truly rare examples of them doing this, and I think this is actually indicative of their mentality in Dragonflight and onwards, specifically. They didn't get rid of the old dungeon. They just added the new dungeon. Did you know you could do that? Shocking, I know. Like, they could have been doing that this entire time. Now, I know you could still access old Shalomance, and I know you can still access old Scarlet Monastery. But just straight up having a separate portal that leads to the modern dungeon was always on the table. No, you're right, Huthor. Which is sort of my point I'm trying to make. Is that this is a recent thing. Don't look at that. Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. We're not at the Badlands yet. We're not at the Badlands. Just enjoy the view of the sky. The brilliant... Look at that skybox. Oh, man. Look at that skybox. Oh. Oh, it's amazing. Okay, we're here. Oh, no, not quite. Over here. Yeah, you can even see them on the mini-map, see? There's the two portals. I believe the top... Yep, the top one is the new one. So the bottom one's the one. Oh, my gosh. Hi, J. Palmer. Where the hell... are where's the summoning stone? Unfortunately not, J. Palmer. We're not there yet. We're just doing Uldaman really quick. Okay, where's... Ah, god dang it. Leave Corn Servant alone! At this point, there's nobody to summon, so whatever, I guess. Where is... Everyone stay here for a second. Where is the summoning stone? Oh, it's over here. Whatever. Alright, so I'm going to kill Kira White Noise here really quick. There we go. Alright, we're done. We're good, we're good. I think that is new, yes, Hira. Because I remember very recently, as in, like, in War Within, they started polishing up the new player experience a little bit. No, we're going to hit this dungeon the same. Kira White Noise, do you mind heading to BRD and joining us for that? Because Bregwin doesn't have time for BRD, so I was going to ask her to bow out for that. If that tracks with everybody. My Warlock is too low level. Oh, jeez, there's a lot of crap in here. Look at all this crap. Look at all this crap. Ugh. She's level 22. Or 28. Or 26. Or 24. It's one of those. Okay, hold on, hold on. No, this is right. Ah! Go away. There we go. There's Uldaman. Home sweet home. God, I hated this dungeon so much back in the day. Part of the reason I hated this dungeon so much was I ran it so many times because so many people wanted to run it because it was one of the only dungeons in this level range. So, it was a pretty decent experience for what it was, but my God, getting the quest for this place sucked. So as you can see, a little different encounter. I will go ahead and switch to tank. If for nothing else than to spare Pillars of Snow the irritation of being the tank.
What's on your mind?
The Makers built 2 ancient stone keepers to protect Uldaman from would-be invaders, and to oversee daily operations where Ayarnaya and Arcadia slumber. One's still operational in the Temple Hall, but the one in Ecomok Cavern's been corrupted by something. I fear the old gods is responsible for this, and you're gonna help me see if that's the case.
What's your beck?
Galgan Firehammer and his band of Dykirns are in Dig 3, guarding a door I know nothing about. I've had it with his men getting in the way of our work here, Explorers League is the only group authorized to handle artifacts throughout Uldaman. Get to the dig and dispose of them so we can continue our work undisturbed.
See you soon.
Hi?
In the mop chamber, there's a door which leads to the legendary chamber of Cosmoor. Who knows what secrets could be inside? We do know is it's guarded by Ironaya, a titan watcher of immense size and power.
Watch your back.
Yep, she has attacks, I think, technically. 1 or 2, pretty sure. Don't actually quote me on that. This is another example. Look at this. Look at this. We're just running over this place. Welcome back, Savicon. Oh, right. They're not a boss in this version. Sorry. Whoa, Ironaya has 3 abilities. Arcing Smash, War Stomp, and a Knockback. Which in vanilla terms means she has a D-aggro. Ho 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 ho. A mechanic. Where's that, Asmiristar, if you don't mind sharing?
Interrupt.
Oh. Actual damage. I do like seeing actual damage. Not to my healer, though. Couldn't hit my healer. Let me make sure I've jotted these down correctly. Let's see. There's Gnomeregan.
None may steal the secrets of the Makers.
What? Okay, sure. Who are you again? What's that? An extremely lore-relevant person who wouldn't be retconned into relevance until the Chronicles books? Okay, it gets worse than that later. Huh. So I literally alt-tabbed for a second, and people are dead. Now, I'll take ownership of that, because I'm the one who alt-tabbed. But, why are people dead? Don't worry about the chamber. My boys will check it out. You have more important things to do. The true goal of Uldaman is to obtain the Discs of Norgannon. The secrets on those discs could change everything about how we view the world. Countless secrets of the Makers are inscribed on them. Their value beyond any material wealth you could possibly imagine. The problem is Arcades is in the way. Now, that's an interesting name. So, yeah. This is an Indiana Jones reference. That's why there's a model city here. If there's any greater reason for it existing, I do not know of it. Do you know what city it is? I don't know. Was it Cairo in Indiana Jones? Something like that. Yeah, no, it's just a reference. No thought has ever been put into it past. It's a reference. Pretty sure it's the first indie movie. He puts like the staff down and shines a light under the thing that unlocks the passageway. Right? I'm not misremembering, right? I might be. Oh god. Now I'm questioning myself. Doubt. And I'm giving into the void. Yeah, Uldaman, as with so many of these dungeons, is a little bit of a nothing burger. I mean, Uldaman is a really strange dungeon. I haven't really talked about why yet, nor do I plan to. Until we get to a part where it's more relevant. But this is a fascinating dungeon, really.
By Thoris of Spirit, slay them!
Sure thing, Metzen. Yeah, no, Uldaman is incredibly important to the lore. I guess I can talk about it now. It's not like I got anything else going on. This was probably the first true attempt to really flesh out the lore of the setting. Like in like a mythos kind of a way, right? In a, here's the origins of the dwarves kind of a way. Now, back in the day, the big revelation was that the dwarves were connected to the earthen, which was a big deal, of course. But, like, that was it, right? We have since revealed that it's even more connected to stuff than we thought. Like, a lot of this is retcon-y stuff, but all of those retcons are built off of the bones of what was done here all the way back in vanilla. Even all the way back then, there was the idea that the dwarves and the trogs were both constructed by the titans. This is also, if I'm not mistaken, arguably the first real showcasing of the very phrase, that is to say, the concept of the Titans. Nowadays, the Titans are kind of household names. But the Titans didn't exist in Warcraft 3, you know what I mean? In vanilla, J. Palmer. In this dungeon, like I just said. See, Uldaman, like, started so many aspects of Warcraft lore, and it's really weird to think about. I've always kind of wondered why Uldaman. Of all the dungeons they could continue to expand upon, why is this the one that they just kept running back to? Yes, the Tomb of Sargeras was in Warcraft 2, obviously. There's a whole mission there. I do believe that was actually our first iteration of Sargeras, which has absolutely nothing to do with the current one. Yeah, the Tomb of Sargeras was also in Frozen Throne. So you used to have multiple players to do this. So this was the dungeon that we used to do the least, to go back and do the least, because we couldn't do it solo, because you needed multiple players. You know, that's an interesting question, Ismiristar. I'm not sure. Titan lore, remember, even as recently as Wrath, the Titans were just really big keepers. In fact, the way they talk about them, there's no real difference between, like, say, the keepers of Ulduar and the Titans, other than the fact that the keepers worked for them. We wouldn't know the true reality of Titans until much, much more recently. Oh, by the way, these are all earthen, and they were here all the way back in vanilla, so that's more world building. Also, we're killing a bunch of earthen. I just thought I'd mention that for no reason. Bragwin. Oh. Well, by Pandaria, they'd come up with several aspects of the lore and codified several things. Or, to be more accurately, by the time Pandaria came out, they'd done some under-the-hood work on the lore. Better way to phrase that. Like, Raytheon directly references events that we didn't understand at the time that would later be revealed. So you can kind of... It's one of the first iterations of proper foreshadowing in the entire game. As opposed to just, you know, taking notes from earlier stuff and running with it. They clearly were lining things up in Pandaria. So anyways, before we fight this next boss, I want to talk about him briefly, because that is Arcades. And that probably means nothing to you. To be clear about this, we're still getting new Arcades lore. In fact, I'm pretty sure I have a quest this week to go to the 5th round of getting Titan artifacts in order to get more lore about Arcades. This is the weirdest thing to me. Of all of the bosses, of all of the entries, of all of the dungeons in the whole game, this random statue Titan thing is one of the single most important elements of huge swaths of Warcraft lore. Yeah, this is not a Watcher. This is not a Titan Forged. This is a Keeper. And he's also one of the critical Keepers. He's the Forger Keeper. So a lot of the stuff that we see that's built, that's Titan make throughout the course of the game, was either designed or built by this guy. A Keeper, there's only 9 Keepers, J. Palmer. Whereas there's tons and tons and tons of Watchers. So, yeah! And he's completely generic. There's nothing to him. He's just, hey, what's up? Keepers, they're in charge, J. Palmer. A Keeper is above on the hierarchy.
Who dares awaken Arcadus?
Hi, Metzen.
Of the Makers.
They didn't even call them the Titans yet. It's called them the Makers.
Awake, ye servants! Defend the Discs!
Yeah, the in-lore reason for this guy being here
For the Makers!
is he is here searching for a way to undo the Curse of Flesh, having fled from Uldaman. Along with Ironaya, by the way. So, grab the loot first. Very important. Always gotta get the loot. So, yes, the Platinum Discs. Greetings, mortals. I've been activated by the Discs of Norgannon to assist you. Oh, there we go. Salutations! My function is to offer insight, and when permissible, access and when permissible insight into information regarding the creator's synthesis of the earthen on the world designated as Azeroth. Notice they still don't call them Titans. The earthen are a synthesized race engineered by the creators, functioning as a seed race in the initial population of the world designated Azeroth. The earthen were created to aid the creators' efforts in shaping the deep regions of the world. They are a modification of the standard subterranean being matrix used on other worlds that creators have seeded. Construction of this prototype race created various anomalies that were observed after initial seeding. This is one of the synthesis matrices the creators use when seeding a world. Notice the hologram, by the way. Each synthesis matrix is used to achieve the creator's goals. For Azeroth, a subterranean being matrix was modified to create a being with increased durability and affinity for deep region shaping. The earthen are the byproduct of this modification. After the earthen had been put into service, unforeseen anomalies were discovered that affected their synthesis due to high-stress environments. Additional background on the earthen must be given before you answer this question. To understand the anomalies of the earthen, it's important to understand what the earthen represent in their design intent. The earthen represent the creator's attempt to improve the survivability paradigm of the standard subterranean being matrix. This was done by incorporating a resilient foundation of construction inherent to the world. Sorry, what? It is the baseline material used in race synthesis. A cross-section of Azeroth's crust was used as the foundation for the earthen synthesis, rather than the typical biomass construction foundation used by the creators. Research on the world's composition led to the creators to theorize that an enhanced being could be synthesized that would epitomize the resiliency of the world's essence. This was accomplished by choosing to blend Azeroth's various stone compounds and foundation. So, the Earthen were made of stone. Simply stated, this is correct. The Earthen's physical features are of smaller stature humanoid, though their composition is that of Azeroth's various stone core compounds. Their design matrices maximize strength and stamina without sacrificing cognitive processing power. Their skin and musculature are nearly impervious to physical damage. I don't know, I've seen Bragwin die back in Gnomeregan. Earthen display remarkable resiliency to unwanted magical forces. It is integral to the assimilation of this data that it's understood the creators wanted to synthesize a race that would be long integral to the part of the world's development cycle after they departed. This race would be instrumental in fulfilling the creators' long-term objectives for Azeroth. Ancillary note. The nomenclature Earthen was deemed apropos for the new race by the creators. Okay. So what are these anomalies? The Earthen's only anomaly in synthesis is the tendency for matrix destabilization while being utilized in high-stress environments. Addendum. Deep Earth sculpting was naturally suited to the new matrix design and never met the qualifications of duplicating a high-stress environment. Destabilization was not discovered until well into the Earthen's primary service cycle. The creators began work on post-synthesis modification rather than recall and resynthesis. There's a noticeable pause after you ask the question. The information you request is not currently available in the repository's data cycling. I sincerely apologize for this omission. Please request this information after a data cycling update has been performed. Yeah, okay. What happens when they destabilize? There are two potential results when the Earthen destabilizes. Visual representation. There you go. They are common... The first variant matrix is a degenerative project of synthesis hereby designated with the common nomenclature of Trog. This variant maintains strength, stamina comparable to Earthen, but cognitive processing power has been almost completely compromised. Force of will and strong sense of cunning are the only driving factors. I'm unable to process your chronological reference in comparison to the recording of this data. Apologies. The Trog retains some composition of Azeroth's various stone core compounds, but the loss of cognitive power makes this variant unacceptable to the creators. The Trog procreates as per standard biomass. By default, it consumes stone and anything else it can acquire, including other Trogs. Cannibalism is considered unacceptable by the creators. Hang on, you mentioned two results when the Earthen destabilized. What's the other one? The second resultant variant of the Earthen matrix retains many desired elements when compared to the standard subterranean matrix. This common nomenclature for this variant is Dwarf. This variant retains strength, stamina inherent to Earthen, and in some cases they even exceed the cognitive powers of the Earthen's matrix. The Dwarf, however, retains none of the physical composition of the various compounds. Dwarves! You're telling me dwarves came from the Earthen? The data stored in this repository does indeed correlate with your astute proclamation. The Dwarf maintains an affinity for the stone composition of Azeroth, but due to the high-stress environment anomaly within Earthen's synthesis matrix, the Dwarf reverts to default biomass composition as seen in standard subterranean matrix. Ergo, the Dwarf variant does synthesize from the degeneration of Earthen, as with your query. Okay, so the dwarves are the same ones today. Yeah, do dwarves maintain any other links to the Earthen? I'm unable to process your chronological reference in comparison to the recording of this data. My apologies. Although the dwarf maintained most of the Earthen's mental attunement to the Azeroth stone composition, the reversion back to living biomass retains the main generation of the matrix. Dwarves eat and procreate through means typical to other standard biomass. The creators view the dwarf as an acceptable variant worthy of Genesis in their own right. But who are the creators? The creators are the creators. They are the beings that seeded the shape of this world by their own design. They are the reason for this world's existence, as well as many other worlds. They are the wellspring from which Azeroth flows. There's a lot to think about. The creators are cognizant of the magnitude of the information housed in this repository. Subsequently, a portable copy of the data stored will be made available to you once you have attuned with the Discs of Norgannon. Please consider your cursory requirements for the assimilation of this knowledge to be complete. Okay! Touching the discs once more makes your hand tingle. This time a strange grinding noise is heard. Your backpack is suddenly heavier. Inside you discover a miniature version of the discs. Uh-huh. So, yeah, Huthor mentioned that. It is legitimately funny how much of this is still relevant lore now. Now, some of this is a little bit more propaganda-y, which admittedly irritates me a little, I'm not going to lie. But, otherwise lines up pretty well with what we know about things. And again, everything you just read was in vanilla. None of that has changed. So, everything they developed from this in Wrath and then in... like everything since then, is something that was fleshed out substantially from this. Like, this was the genesis of it. This is the origination of all that. interesting to think about. Now, yeah, no, a lot of bug stories started in Uldaman, which, once again, are still going today. Like, literally this week. Literally. But I find myself wondering is how positive worthy is this? Like, from the perspective of a review, how do we review this? I mean, Uldaman obviously is 50 negatives. That's easy. But I mean, like, the story aspect. The creators. See, I was debating a world-building positive. I have no idea, J. Palmer. But, well... there's this guy named Metzen. And something Metzen likes to do, and he's done this consistently pretty much every time he's ever written anything ever, is that he'll jot down ideas or concepts that interest him, even if he either has no plans to or has no availability to follow through on it. If you've ever heard him talk about any of this stuff, most especially the Titans, you know, this is a story idea that really fascinates him. You can tell the Titan lore in general is kind of his baby when it comes to Warcraft, right?
What's on
I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of this was something that he threw in here pretty much specifically because he wanted to. Even if it was just putting it in a corner in a dungeon people were barely ever even going to do, right? I think I agree with myself. I know, rare thing when I agree with myself. Yeah, I remember that, actually, as Miristar. They were specifically talking about it because they were going to use the portals in BC. Remember, there's actually several dark portals other than the dark portal in Outland. Still, they're still there. And there was plans to do something with all that. Okay. Bragwin, thank you for joining us very, very much. I know, Miristar. I know you said you had to go, so I'm going to uninvite you. And then I'm going to grab Kira White Noise. I'm going to grab the wrong Kira White Noise. Very important. Got to have that wrong invite in there. Whoops. Okay, sorry. So this is the Chonker. Whoops, that's Bragwin. No! Decline the invite, Bragwin. Whatever you do. Oh, thank God. Okay. I'm safe this time. That's an interesting statement, Luthor. Suppose we'll find out, won't we? Well, last I checked, if we just walk in, we can still do it. I'm going to stand right here to kind of mark the entrance for anybody who doesn't know how to get in. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for one of the first raids in the game, which was originally done with 10-man. Tin Man groups, and was being done as part of a... This is very FF11, right? Even though it's instanced, BRD was kind of designed to be a thing. A place you're not supposed to go through and defeat in one run thing. Nowadays we have a term for this, Mega Dungeon, but... Yeah, exactly. BRD isn't a dungeon, it's a zone. And yeah, I'm not actually being facetious. This really did used to be a 10-man. Now, the quest in here you'd have to do is 5, and it's slowly kind of filtered down into being a 5-man instead of a 10-man, but at launch, when we wanted to do BRT, we'd usually bring more than 5 people. And yeah, there was keys you could get, and unlocks you could do, which gave you shortcuts and all kinds of stuff. So, it was designed to be able to, like, access a bit further in as you gain more and more, for lack of a better way to put it, mastery of the place. They added these things pretty recently, the drill. So let's see what we got here. We've managed to infiltrate the Dark Iron Prison. Well, we may have, anyway. Kevin Dodson had the honor of seeing what's going on over there, and since we haven't heard back from him, you look like the type that doesn't like to die, so go see if he's okay.
You have a great day now.
How are you?
Oh, got it. I will switch to DPS, Carolinas. Thank you for reminding me. Can you keep a secret? I have a secret to share with you. Everybody here's crazy. There's goblins over there, dark irons over there, a giant living fire thing. And that's just what I see in this little cave. What are you doing here? Oh, I see. Winky sent you. Sent you to talk to old Prospector Seymour. All right. Well, go. Aurelius doesn't even care. I'll get you photos, Winky.
Keep your feet on the ground.
Poor Aurelius.
What's up?
For years, I sought out a certain gem. It's called the Heart of the Mountain. It's the size of your fist. The Dark Iron Dwarves have it locked away in their vault, and try as I might, they won't let me purchase it. So I'm going to resort to force. Fight your way in, breach the safe, and then, you know, give it to me.
For real?
Yeah, what do you want?
At one end of the Dark Iron Highway stands a massive gate, much like the one that protects Shadowforge. However, we have no idea what's behind it, Molten Core. All we know is it's heavily guarded by Anvil Rage patrols and a molten giant called Baelkar. Just imagine what could lie behind there. The other half of the city we knew nothing about. Or nothing. Who knows? That it's probably something.
Be careful out there.
Alright, let me switch to Deeps really quick. So we're going to go on a bit of a guided tour of BRD, because this place is a hell of a thing. The first place we usually would hit is the place that we're going to do right now. I can't think of the name of it all of a sudden. Jail area. So I should mention, one of the things that I do like about BRD, and I do mean this, is that it's got a whole lot of multiple routes on how to get through it. Like, there's a whole bunch of ways to navigate BRD. And if you want to get from point A to point B, and if you happen to know where you're going and what you're doing, you can route your way through that based on what your current availability is, and based on what it is you know where to go, right? I did see the tank's health moves. That's something, I guess. And yeah, I noticed we have all 3 paladins here. That's kind of funny. Look, Udor. Damn.
Need help?
I don't know how I'm still... I don't know how I'm still alive. The patrols keep walking past me like I'm not even here. Am I dead, Monk?
Be careful.
It's a little hard to believe, but there's Twilight's Hammer members in the Blackrock Depths. Oh my god! No! What? No! I don't know about how many, but they're crawling throughout this place. I did hear their interrogator, Gersten, is in this hallway. I don't know what they're torturing for, but maybe you could find out.
For the Alliance.
I was actually just thinking about that, because I feel like the Twilight's Hammer are mentioned somewhere Dark Shore, maybe? The original Dark Shore? I'm not even sure about that, actually. Back before we knew what a Cathraxi was. Yes, actually. This is our very, very, very last vanilla dungeon. We've got a couple of Cata dungeons coming up, you know, actual Cata dungeons, but this is the last of the oldies. Oh no, I aggroed the boss. Oh, I always planned for this to be the last one. Come on, it's BRD. I'm not sure if the Twilight's Hammer were mentioned in Dark Shore. Either way, this is definitely one of the first mentions of the Twilight's Hammer. One way or the other. Oh yeah, absolutely is Mirror. Yeah, you want to see how insane this place is? Look at that list of bosses on the right side of my screen. I'm not sure any dungeon in the game has more bosses than that.
Light be with you.
I see, she didn't cooperate. Hopefully we can still stop them before something else terrible happens.
Honor, friend.
I say, Darmal, yeah. Yeah, the Ring of Law, you notice Ring of Law is listed as just one entry here. Hello, Czar. Yeah, it was before they locked off the doors. This is the Ring of Law. You remember Moira actually mentioned this earlier in a Doom Rogue quest. You've been sentenced to death for your crimes against the Dark Iron Nation. Alright, which one do you think we're gonna get? Sons of thousands shall watch you perish in the Ring of Law. I'm gonna say Spider. That's my bet. Unleash the fury. Let it be done. Usually nowadays when they make a mega dungeon, they set out to make a mega dungeon. Like the one in Shadowlands I actually haven't even done. Did we miss? Oh, here they come. Yeah, I could see that, Lord Hermon. I like some of the actual city. We're not to the city yet. We're out in the mines. Alright, here we go. Back pause. Whammy, no whammy. Oh yeah, Dawn of the Infinites, that's another one. It's the Worgen! Holy crap. Well, I owe you a beer, Huthor. Except you're British, so I owe you a tea. Oh, he did. You want to get anything cool? Nah. Alright, so just to talk about this a little bit, and I'll show a little bit more of this in the future, but you see that pathway that's just opened up there? We could go up there and then use that to get into the city proper. Remember, this city actually interconnects with itself a lot. We're not going to do that, because again, I'm trying to show off as much of BRD as possible. But I'm just talking about how this can be yet another alternate route in order to progress forward. In fact, we're actually going to technically backtrack a little bit in order to fight that guy, because there's another boss down here. I've always loved Lord Rockgor's lore. It's so minuscule. Check this out. You ready for this? there are two elemental creatures who are very heavily political. And by creatures, I mean like the species. Fire and air. Earth isn't very political, as we'll see later in this very expansion. And water, we don't actually flesh out water that much, but for the most part, water doesn't indulge in those kind of things. But fire and air are like picture Game of Thrones-y kind of stuff, except constantly. And instead of taking someone's like lands, you take their power, which usually means killing them, right? Lord Rocker, he's actually a fire elemental here. And he is specifically here because he's really, really sick of dealing with all that political bull crap. And I find something about that so wonderfully relatable. Like, he actually deliberately went out of his way to piss off his... Whoa. Whoa. What happened? I see people who are dead. Okay. Hang on. I can work with that. I like having to actually hit buttons. Yep, this is about to be a thing. Nope, didn't quite manage it. Killed a bunch of them. So he deliberately pissed off his superiors so he would get banished to BRD. In other words, he did it on purpose so he wouldn't have to deal with the political infighting anymore. He deliberately lost political infighting so he wouldn't have to do political infighting anymore. I love that. It's such a tiny little tidbit of story, but I love that. Hello, off the deeper end. By contrast, there's actually another fire elemental in this... yeah, exactly. There's another fire elemental in this very dungeon who is here because he is the kind of guy who plays those games. And he failed at it, like, unintentionally. Like, that was not a deliberate thing. But here's another route you could take to Molten Core. I do not recommend it. There's better routes. That is a good question, Lord Hermon. When you figure out the answer, let me know. Yeah, that's one of the lava skips, of which there are several. I admit I'm with Ismiristar, though. It would actually be really cool if we could actually have some really in-depth look into the elemental politics. We mostly see it from like an outside, distant perspective. Except when we're arranging for the next person to take over as the Fire Lord. And Air Lord. But if I can quote myself here, amongst the air and the fire, the effects of peerage are personal power. Not really, J. Palmer. I mean, usually it's on a small scale. Like, for example, we saw this back in Wrath. There's an elemental who's pissed off that the other elemental keeps trying to encroach in its territory, which happens to be a hill. But generally speaking, the major lords don't really poke at each other all that much. That's one of the reasons they were locked away in their own elemental planes, actually, is so they wouldn't fight each other constantly. Look, Fyrak is going to make the fire elementals great again, okay? He's going to build a wall to make the druids pay for it. Okay, so that was what you could arguably consider to be the first wing of BRD. Let's see, that was 1, 2, 3 bosses down here? Something like that. If you have a key, you go... none of the key requirements exist anymore, but there was a bunch of keys you could get in here. There were so many keys, they eventually had to actually add a key ring, a special key ring bag to the game. Just for holding them all. So I didn't actually mean to aggro that, so here we go! I definitely meant to aggro these ones, though. I remember the keyring mostly because my friends would make fun of it. You know, my rogue friends. What's a key? Why would you need one? Not that I'm aware of, Lunareth? Alright, it's a haste race. Who has the highest... No, this is actually some of the meanest trash in the entire dungeon. Someone dying here for any reason whatsoever doesn't surprise me, because if you're going to die, you're going to die on the highway. Highway is mean. I will stop triple pulling the highway. Maybe double pulling. Yeah, but like, last I checked, the elements didn't fall in line with them, Earth. Now, Fyrak was able to court the Fire Lord, whose name I suddenly can't think of. Yeah, they had huge armies. That's what we call a negative to story. Smolderon, that was a stupid name. Look, I'm sorry. You will never be able to convince me that the Primalists are anything other than discount, we have Twilight's Hammer at homes, and worthy of many negatives. I suppose I should mention one of the reasons these trash sucked. Those guys are... No, sorry. Those guys are healers, and those guys have invulns. That's it? But still, this is vanilla. Yeah, these guys were irritating. You'll notice that guy invulned right on our faces there. So yeah, he is continuing to be irritating. As is his wont. Wow, this guy actually hurts. I'm shocked. So now before we back up into the, let's call it the Observer's area, I want to show something off here. So I mentioned there's multiple routes through this dungeon. What I didn't mention is some of those routes actually lock out other routes. So if you look up ahead there, you'll see there's a giant gate in front of us. And we can go through that gate. Through that gate is Incendius, I think? I don't even see him on the list. It's a fire elemental guy. No, yeah, Lord Incendius. I'm right. And past him is Phineas Darkfire, right? So we could go through there and fight two bosses. But if we go ahead and progress the bridge, which we do up there, then all of a sudden that pathway is locked off and we have to find another route over there. So when I'm talking about routing, I'm not just meaning like, you know, knowing your way through it. I mean, in some cases, you kind of lock yourself out of routes. There's also quite a few routes where you jump down in order to progress. We've already actually referenced one of those. Another one is the second route to get to Incendius. Another one is the other primary route, the secondary route to get to Molten Core and to Thaurazun. I guess we should actually go this way first. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's probably quicker. So let's go ahead and go this way first.
Yeah, no, there's a... I'll show it off, because I'll actually hit it. There's a key thing up there we interact with. And he's invulned. This is just like fighting a paladin in vanilla. Invuln! Oh, my invul ran out. Thud. Excuse me. Pretty much, Linear. If you know where you're going, you can kind of double dip a little bit like we are currently doing. But for the most part, yeah, you had to pick a route. That would be really funny. And yeah, you notice I'm barely even talking about the bosses here. Most of the bosses here are vanilla bosses, aka they have 2 or 3 abilities. And, like, those abilities consist of I hit you with a spell or I hit you with an attack, right? Like, there's no boss design here. In fact, just for funsies, what does Incendius do? He's got an AoE fire attack, he's got a fire attack, he's got a knockback, and he reduces the fire resistance of all people around him, stacking. That's it. That's why you don't fight him over there, by the way, because he's got a knockback and we don't want to be in the lava. However easy this place is nowadays, we don't want to end up in the lava. We can survive that, but that would be a colossal pain if we fell in. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 bosses according to the list. I feel like that skips a couple, though. So this may look familiar if you've ever made a Dark Iron. Because this is kind of your Dark Iron starter zone, is right here in the middle of Shadowforge City. If you want to get to Molten Core and the Emperor, they're down there. I don't recommend it. Now, speaking of bosses, obviously all of these bosses are pretty different in the new raid, but the one that really struck me as the most different is Phineas here. Now, I was playing a demon hunter, so when he tried to knock me over the edge into the lava, I was able to recover, because demon hunter. 2 or 3 other people did not recover, and all of a sudden our group was a little bit smaller for some reason. It was very strange. Yeah, going through here on LFR is a fascinating experience. I happen to really like the revamp of the Phineas fight. Now, granted, I like all the new fights, but this is probably my favorite of the new fights right here. Okay, so we're actually going to turn around at this point. Well, no, I guess... I keep disagreeing with myself. Let's go ahead and push a little bit. Just a little. There's actually another boss, which I'm not even sure is on that list. Stop dazing me, God. Yeah, the vault was what I was just thinking about. We could reach the vault from another way, but I mean, we're right here, so meh. Yeah, I know a lot of people who would not know how to get through BRD. I think that's the way I want to phrase that. I know this because I used to make gold in this game being a guide to BRD, because I know how to navigate through BRD. As I guess I'm proving right now. Fun fact, though, check it out. There's those Silithus things. The Twilight Crystals. Oh, like 2 or 3 gold per run. Something like that. I accept that. I deserve that. I even thought about it. I was like, oh, I can recover from this. Nah, I'm going to be arrogant. And then nearly choke on my water. Ugh. I guess I deserve that twice. You remember when Arcane Explosion had a cast time? Pepperidge Farm remembers. So another random boss here. One of the types of runs we would do very, very, very regularly in our guild was runs to the vault. Because the vault was a good source of star rubies. And gems in general, but mostly star rubies. Probably wasn't the best source, but we could knock this place over in, I'd say, half an hour if we just beeline for it. Yes, this is vanilla, obviously. I'm just gonna be rooted here. There we go. Let's see, what do we got? Bethic Stormbrow. So you can open all these chests. Yes, I knew what you meant, Linnerith, and yes, that is the answer to your question. Ooh, legal documents, my favorite. Oh no, it's Darkkeeper Bethic. Who could have predicted this after I read his name on that portrait? Okay, that's that. Alright. Let's go ahead and go this way. Was that a lot of gold back then? I would say 2 gold was a lot of gold back in vanilla, yeah. Especially for just being a guide. I actually don't know how much gold is in Classic, but in vanilla, gold was a decent chunk of money. Like, obviously, the 1,000 gold mount was extremely rare. But I knew people who wouldn't even get their level 40 mount until, like, level 50-ish. I just realized I'm naturally faster than everyone, so I'm just gonna stop being faster for a second. I'm just going to wait completely. Yeah, that sounds about right, Jay Palmer. Ugh. On my Paladin, I was lucky. I could afford to not train well over half my skills as I was leveling. So, I actually got my 40 mount relatively soon. Hello, Mr. Floyd, again. Damn it, I can't do it. I can't out-aggro your healing. I'm so sorry. You were just too much of a healer. I mean, yeah, that sounds about right, Jay Palmer. I also leveled a warrior in vanilla. Warrior, paladin, mage. Those are my vanilla classes. Although I also had a hunter. And a warlock. This is BRD, Mr. Floyd Bickerton. How could you not remember BRD? So, that whole extra wing we just did, well, we could have also gone up here. So you see that Shadowforge lock up there? Now, let me go ahead and clear out some of this crap really quick. Yeah, we're actually making pretty good progress, but which is ironically a bad thing. check our negatives here. Yep, cool. So if you had the key, here I'll actually show you, because you can see it through the window here. As you can see, the gate's actually closing over there now. The really cool part is you can see the scraping. I think that's a new effect. I could be wrong. And you're probably thinking, hang on, what's the point of closing the gate? I'll show you in a minute. First thing I want to show you is this passageway. Check it out. Here's the Ring of Law where we were at earlier. See? You didn't believe me. You know, I've always found it funny that the Dark Irons have anything left at all after we slam through BRD. Because canonically, we knocked this place over. Like, we leveled Shadowforge in vanilla. The only reason it still exists is because, you know, literally physically destroying a mountain was a huge deal. Anyways, thank you, Off the Deep End, for the sub. Sorry. Always appreciate those. And, as usual, want to put the towards up two things, please let me know. Yeah, we completely cripple the Dark Irons here. Now, in fairness, there's actually 3 distinct polities amongst the Dark Irons. There's the Twilight Loyalists, that's these guys. There's the ones following Moira, and then there's the Thorium Brotherhood. Well, it feels like the opposite would happen to me, J-Pump, but they would actually settle with the removal of Ragnaros. Okay, so hang on. Going towards to the platformer block, Alan Wake, and definitely a third thing. Maybe a genre? So if you're paying attention, that's the route we just came back through. Down there. Oops. Well, you know what I mean. So the whole point in closing the gate was said that this passageway, which you can see we're actually in the gate now, allows us to go across. See? That's the same block offshore deeper count, and may never happen actually. In fact, it's getting more and more likely we will have to actually veto Alan Wake 2. I mean, it's not going to happen anymore. I'm going to laugh if I already have it unlocked. Now, there's a little bit of interesting visual storytelling here. The Dark Irons are actually kneeling before the Fire Elementals. Really minor touch, but I do like it. I like what it implies. What's wrong with it? It is exclusive to Epic, J-Pong, and has shown no signs whatsoever of no longer being exclusive to Epic. Like, Alan Wake 2's been out for a while now. So there's General Angerforge. Now there's a boss fight that's completely redone in the new version. He's literally an ad boss. There's nothing to him whatsoever. He summons ads. I'm not sure he has any abilities other than that. Here, let's check here. What do we got? Where is he? He has Sunder, Flurry, and Enrage. In other words, that's it. Some do, Mr. Floyd Pinkerton. Widespread knowledge of the Titans wasn't a thing until post-Wrath. Yeah, no, this is a pure can your tank live, also here's a bunch of ads check, and that's it. There's nothing to this fight. No. Oh, no, you don't. They got rid of some of the key requirements, added the drill, which gave some shortcuts, and polished up a couple of things. But otherwise, no, Yira. It's one of the reasons why the... why the new BRD, the one in the anniversary event, was so shocking. Because that is a colossal overhaul to this nonsense. So now there's the gnomes. They're not even leper gnomes. They're just traders. Die, race trader. Oh, sorry. Big old room from hell. And another boss. This boss's mechanic is he has 2 adds with him. And chain lightning, shock, and lightning shield. Whoa-ho-ho. I mean, there is no level design to the new BRD. It's boss and then channel of trash and the boss. It's very FF14 kind of dungeon. I will say, of all the things old BRD would get, it is actually, of all things, level design. Like the actual terrain design. Because there is some. Whoa! Wow. Yeah, no, okay. I accept. Either way, sorry, in answer to your question, Mr. Floyd, I have no idea who designed the new one. Oh, thank you. Aw. Yeah, that sounds like vanilla boss design to me. Alright, you have aggro. Whoop! Nope, you don't have aggro. There we go. Oh, very much so, Ismiristar. So this is the Grim Guzzler. Anybody who's ever done Brewfist, this probably very suddenly looks familiar. But he's not here. How strange. I wouldn't worry about it too much. So they're all neutral because, However, there's this goblin. You're good for nothing, Ripley. It's time you pay for your wickedness. We don't want to aggro the group, so we're going to go... Or we do. Okay, let's kill everyone. Bar fight. Bar fight. Murder the patrons. So, if any combat here happens at all, the fire guard shows up and says, "Halt, there were reports of a disturbance. We are investigating." There's actually another way to progress. That involves dealing with phalanx over there. I think we can still aggro phalanx, though. Let me go check. It may not be an aggro when I do that. Make sure I don't screw it up. Yep, Fire Elemental Police. Okay, so we go over to Private Rocknut here.
Off with you.
Who, by the way, has a huge crush on the succubus here. And vice versa, by the way. She has a quest to, like, seduce Private Rocknut. It's very cute.
Be good. How are you? Watch your back.
Okay, that should be enough. Also, hey, look, an NPC that nobody cares about anymore. I have all of these plans on my warrior.
Off with you.
He's like, ugh. empty. Where is the succubus? Ah, empty again. Did we kill the succubus? Nope, there she is. Over there. Ew. Ew. And he starts beating the keg. Which causes that to pop. Which causes the door to open. Which causes phalanx to aggro. So that's two ways you can get through this door. And as you can see, they're not really mutually exclusive. You can do both. And yeah, Kata... I've said this earlier in this very run. I shudder to think what it was like working in the offices when they were making Kata. Like, I've done severe work burnout. I've literally been working while asleep before in my life. During 100-plus hour work weeks. I do not want to picture what making Kata was like. Would you believe, Huthor? I actually completely agree with you. So if this looks familiar, it should. We were just over there on the other side. And now we're on this side. And down there's where Incendius was. Yeah, BRD might actually deserve gameplay positives. Despite being technically abandoned content. Simply because the level design is still really good. Even if nothing else is. So, we're in the end game now. Just a few bosses before the end of this. Hope you like ad bosses. I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm crazy. Yeah, BRD, despite being a vanilla dungeon, had some really good design ideas in it. Multiple shortcuts, multiple routes, multiple options. The only thing I disliked about BRD is the obvious thing. The boss design, which was non-existent. So, give me this kind of level of design with modern boss design. Ugh. Who did we miss? Oh, we didn't kill Hurley. Or Plugger. Who cares? Oh, these actually hit hard. Nice. Time to pull more than two at once. Oh yeah, one of the kind of boss level designs I tend to appreciate a lot in any type of game is very, very dense levels. Rather than big, sprawling levels. I like levels where there's a lot going on in a relatively contained space. Especially since that leads to peaking. If you were there during any of the Doom run, we talked extensively about the concept of peaking over in how they do level design over in Doom. Peaking is actually really, really important for any kind of navigation gameplay, and being able to see where you've been from, where you've come from, and where you're going is really, really nice little thing. It's like, oh yeah, I was just up there, or I was just down there, or whatever. So here's the 7. This is probably my least favorite of the new boss fights. In the revamped version. This one is just I don't know, it's a big chaotic brawl. Not a lot going on. Just kill whatever target is currently vulnerable. And yeah, it takes way too long. And actually, yeah, Dark Souls, especially 1, which is the one whose level design I know best, is very big on that. Or Sekiro, which is a game I know much, much better. I'm so sorry, J. Palmer. May God have mercy on your soul. Oh, the new Angerforge fight is a great fight. Probably my second favorite of the new fights. No, I would put the best as Phineas. Phineas, Angerforge, and then... Let me think about that actually for a minute. Yeah, no, I think I'll go with that. Phineas, and then Angerforge, and then Emperor. And then, Baelgar, I want to say? No. Yeah, that's right. Baelgar. If we wanted to, we could go into Molten Core over there. We're not going to do that. But no, the fight in this room is amazeballs. This is a great gauntlet fight. It was intended to be a gauntlet back in vanilla. It kind of isn't, as you can tell by the fact that I'm just roaming through here. Ooh. That was interesting. In the new version, you stay in combat the whole damn time, but there's like recovery spots. I don't know, it's got a great flow to it. It's hard to even explain. They did a lot of nice little details to make this one work properly. I don't remember when they introduced personal loot. I know it was in the game in Pandaria. Yeah, no, exactly, Clone. It was just, oh, it was so good. Personal loot was added in Pandaria. I was right. There it is. Patch 5.0.4. Whoa, crap. That's also an area if effect looting was added. Huh. Agreed, Huthor. Death to personal loot. Death to quality of life. Death to good game design. Or, sorry. Anyways, I really like personal loot. For more or less the exact same reason I like it in Diablo 3. Which is amusing because Diablo 3 has exclusively, personal loot. This fight's okay in the new version. I feel like a lot of people just kind of blitz through it and don't pay attention to the mechanics at all. Like, for example, one of the big hits they do on the tank is actually a soak. It's a meteor strike. But nobody ever soaks it, except for, like, me. And so I usually end up dying. I should probably go over here. Yeah. Yep, that guy turned into a snake dude rather than a magma golem. For some reason. Hey, look! There's Moira. Wait! That's not Moira! Yeah, they moved the ambassador, who we also skipped, it's worth noting. Up here. Excuse me. Oh my god, come on. Work with me, throat. Work with me. I think he's probably one of the best dwarf characters in the game, and that's saying something, considering he's going up against Moira herself, Bronn, and Magni. Anyways, I happen to really like this fight, too, in the new version. Her ability is fantastic, and very appropriate for a Void Priest. I mean, Valdrakken... I would be shocked if they ever surpassed Valdrakken in terms of visual design. That was a really, really well-designed story axis capital city. That being said, Valdrakken actually has a lot of issues with it gameplay-wise, which we will cover when we get there. Down you go. And that was BRD. We skipped a couple of things, but that is the most of it. I don't like Dornegal, really. Story-wise. I like it gameplay-wise, plenty, though. Originally, back on the Horde, you'd get a quest to go in here to rescue Moira. And that way ingratiate yourself with the dwarves, because that way maybe we could find peace, right? And then she's like, I was never kidnapped. And it wasn't really clear back in Vanilla if she actually was mind-controlled or not. They just kind of left that vague. As the Alliance, you were sent here by Magni. Magni in Vanilla was a dick. Something that they actually acknowledged later on. So I'll give him that. No maces, I'm afraid. Actually got that mace once. Whoop, 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 whoop. Hey. Anyways, thank you, all of you, very, very much for joining me. As usual, and as always, that is the end of the Vanilla Dungeons. We're free. Free! As soon as we beat Wetlands, Badlands, and Searing Gorge. Yeah, I don't have the fire one. I'm very upset about not having the fire one. Yep, we're so close. We're so close to being rid of the yoke of vanilla forever. Just done with all of the old, terrible, awful crap. God damn it. Sorry. It's... What? Oh. There we go. And then we'll do the WoW audit. And then I will shoot myself. See, that's the real reason you want to undo the current review system. So I have to go redo the really, really long games we've already covered. You got it, Huthor. That'll be $40 million. FF16 audit. Do we have cheats for that? Can we cheat for that? Why? Okay, I don't care. Starfield audit. Oh. Oh, that hurts my soul. Damn. She needed air. Yeah, she needed to eat the sunlight because she's photosynthetic. Well, let's go and get Drained Soul. See how that feels. The Bethesda block. Alright, Ham.
What's on your mind?
Well met, Warlock. Stormpike sent you. About the keg. Oh.
Be good.
You've got to help us, lass. We were tasked with escorting precious cargo to our fellow dwarves.
A keg of the finest ale you can get out here. Yes, well, unfortunately, Birdbrain over here fell asleep on the job. Those blasted orcs took our keg. And they're hauling it up to Dún Algaz.
Keep your feet on the
Whoa, okay. Okay. Can work with that.
No!
This cannot stand! No, I'll stay here and try and convince this idiot it was his fault. I'd like you to go get the keg back.
Safe travels. Great to meet you.
Ah, don't listen to him. He's as idle as they come. It's his fault the ale got captured. What's more, I figured there's a bigger issue than ale being stolen. The fact that there's a bunch of orcs running through Dún Algaz after all these years is ridiculous. Tell you what, you head in there and make sure to drive the orcs out as much as you can.
Be good.
So yeah, these are Dragon Maw. We will actually be discussing Dragon Maw relatively soon. Okay. They're all evaded. Why are they all evaded? There we go. Yeah. No that is Mr. Yeah, the Dragon Maw, we've talked about this before. As of this point in time, let's go down the list. We've already met the Leper Gnomes, right? We've seen the Dark Iron Dwarves. We've seen the Alterac humans. We've seen the Sylvanas Forsaken. Let's see, what else? Oh, that one, yeah. Gosh, what else? Well, I wasn't going to count the Hellscream group yet, because usually we're working for them. Either way, the closest thing we have to an actual evil orc group is the frickin' Dragon Maw. Now, I understand how funny of a statement that is, given an upcoming zone, but it's still true. These guys are not cool. Why is that person using Arcane Explosion on a single target? Yeah, remember that dragons are fully sentient, sapient people. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that.
No!
You have it? It's the poor thing intact.
See you soon.
Oh, thank the makers. Or the creators. But there's no such thing as titans. Don't look at me like that.
Keep your feet on the ground.
Alright, we need to get this ale to where it's going right away. Ironforge has sent an expedition of surveyors to check the damage done to the wetlands with a dam burst.
Be good.
Well,
What's on your mind?
Forba Slab Chisel's the one leading it, and believe me, you don't want to get on her bad side. Showing up with an armful of ale will help her with just that.
Safe travels. What can I do for you? See you soon.
Almost. So, orcs are very naturally reactive to the magic in their environment, Yura. We actually talked about this earlier. I kind of wish they would do something more with this, because it's a cool idea, lore-wise. So, if you see them have different colors, it's specifically because they are reacting to a different type of magic. Or that it's been, they've been changed by a different kind of magic. However you want to think of that.
Hello.
What you got for me there?
Keep your feet on the ground.
Nice to see those addle-brained mountaineers knew how to get the hand the ale off to a real woman to get the job done. Yep, that's me. Welcome to my survey. If you're of a mind to help Ironforge by taking over the intended job of some of the useless, lazy sods that calls themselves dwarves, you're in the right place.
See you soon.
I'm here because Mirrodin himself knew the survey needed someone to keep these buffoons on their toes. They're all too scared of the wildlife to do a thing. If I'm going to get them on their duff, I need to do some cleanup. We've got an elemental problem, first off. The flood did a number here, and the water's gone hysterical.
I bet you've never slapped the sense into an entire lake before, but I'm asking of it now. Okay.
Keep your feet on the
I'll go
ground.
beat some sense into the lake.
Interest you on a pint?
The destruction of the Stone Rot Dam was no small thing. We're all here to see how bad the damage is. A mighty fine load of water rampaged through here. And if it's disturbed the earth too far, we could be in for worse later on. We can tell a lot from studying the sediment.
Watch your back.
Probably, Ira. Does a mechanome have a different startup?
No. Be good.
The local wildlife's all messed up from the flood. This fen used to be full of crocolists, but I haven't spotted a single one. But I have spotted our threshodons. Never used to be in here, so the flood must have swept them right out of Lockwood. Lucky for us, they're tastier than crocolists. I'm running low on food.
Safe travels.
Right, so, yes, mechanomes have a very different start. Something I am very aware of. Because I have definitely made a mechanome that wasn't a Pandaria remix character. Here we go, and just immediately grab Haunt. So... Yes, okay, I think I know how I want to do that. So it would be... Hello. This, and then it just frickin' dies! Jesus. Okay, I wasn't prepared for that to happen. Oh, thank you. Oh, I didn't get to say thank you. Oh well. Yeah, visual positive for the wetlands. I mean... No. You know what? I'm not even willing to entertain it. Just this once. Just this once. No. Hell, even the music, which is very brackish, swampy, is just eh. Yeah, Wetlands has never been a good zone. I actually know people who would kind of skip completely over Wetlands and just go straight to Arathi. Or go south to the Badlands instead. Hell, I know some people who would rather hit up hinterlands than Wetlands. You're probably thinking, but why, Lore? Well, you see, it's actually pretty simple. So, obviously the Wetlands are kind of boring visually and musically. Now, I know we only kind of cover that a little bit when it comes to review, but it is still a relevant part of the story. It is still part of the gameplay experience, right? That's one of the reasons why those points exist. So, Wetlands is a flat, boring plain, but it has just enough water in it. Actually, I'm talking of vanilla Wetlands. Had just enough water in it to make it so that traversing it was a colossal pain. And remember, by the time you're going through here, you probably didn't have a mount of any kind. So you're just doing it on foot. Second problem is the quests here were, of course, vanilla quests, but by memory, and I do not know if this is true or not, they were right up there with Stranglethorn Vale in terms of quest design. AKA, far too low of a drop rate, far too many kills required, and far too much cherry picking with regards to the specific things you needed. So yeah, the quests here were substandard, even by vanilla standards. So, nothing interesting story-wise going on at all. In fact, I'm not even sure I could summarize the story of the Wetlands vanilla, because there is none. So nothing interesting going on story-wise, nothing interesting to look at or listen to as you're going through it, and the gameplay sucked. It was imminently skippable. Probably pull up my real pet, I just realized. Listen, all I'm saying is the hinterlands are the worst zone in the history of the Ever. That's all I'm trying to say.
place.
Sure. Yeah, also, that's the skybox right there. Soak it up. There's not even freaking clouds to look at. I mean, ditto, Uthor, but I'm not sure the Wetlands gets the credit for that, you know. As anybody who's ever done the run from Teldrassil to Elwyn knows, we got pretty familiar with the Wetlands. As I think I've mentioned a few times, I used to sell my services for that. Or just, you know, help friends who wanted to do it. I'd run ahead and either die, or you know, try to kill the stuff in their way so they could get through. Because Wetlands was the hard part. Once you got past the Wetlands, all you needed to know was where you were going. Yeah, it's a very specific type of road. It takes about half an hour. The Carbot video is pretty accurate in its duration. What I would usually do, because obviously just transporting around is a whole thing. When someone's like, hey, I want to get a night elf to Elwyn, I'll be like, no problem. Tell me what your character name is going to be. And they'll be like, oh, my name's going to be Bob. And I'm like, okay, sure thing. So I would go make a new character, a new night elf, and essentially do the run with them. And then, of course, you know, when inevitably we get to the Wetlands, and there's some Crocolus that aggroes you from 500 feet away, it would be my job to go distract the Crocolus so it would eat me instead of them, and they could keep running. This, J. Palmer, is my shocked face. Can I get some lore shocks for J. Palmer really quick? I'm not trying to be sarcastic, it's just, come on. Of course Vashj'ir is bugged. Why would Vashj'ir be anything other than bugged? It would probably be in the running for one of the best zones in the game, if not for the fact that it's constantly horrifically bugged. One time I did it, and the collision on the submarine didn't work right. So you'd get on the submarine, and then it would take off through you? Is the best way I could probably describe that experience? And eventually leave you behind, and you're just stuck waiting there in the water going, huh? And if you kept up with the submarine somehow, just by swimming, you would still get credit for the quest.
What can I do for you? See you soon. Keep your feet on the ground.
We're good on provisions, but we're in need of medicine. Half the camp's fiercely hungover, and the remedy's in order. Luckily, I know a good folk remedy taught me by my dear old mum. We just need some local ingredients. Give me some finberry bushes. Okay.
Be good.
I mean finbush berries, right? Of course I did. That's what I said to begin with. Sorry.
Talk to me. Be good.
Ah, this is good news. This will do perfectly. The bad news, they're the wrong color. Even drunk as I am, I can tell that. That means things aren't looking good for the area, but we've got to do more tests before we hang up the towel.
Watch your back.
All right. I need you to help find my dumping level. What are you looking for? That's right. I said my dumping level. It's a significant piece of surveying equipment. Look, I didn't name the bloody thing, all right? Go look it up. All I did was leave it on a rock long enough for one of those horrible oozes to swallow it up. The place is crawling with them, but they should have it inside.
Off with you.
I gotta go thank this person. Thank you.
Much appreciated.
How are you?
Well, albeit there's someone around here who isn't a disgrace to Magni. Bless his poor gravelly heart. Ah, just for that, you'll get first crack at the ale, lass. But don't let it go to your bloody head. We've got more Goram work to do, and I won't tolerate you letting up early.
Safe travels.
The Dark Iron Clan is up to no good out here. If that surprises you, you're thicker than the adult blotters in that tent. Mirrodin may pay lip service to the sooty cretins back in Ironforge, but out here all bets are off. We had a raid against the camp last night, and one raid is too many. Their leader's a stout fellow by the name of Glower Glare, and he's hiding in the cave south bank of the river. Bring me his beard. As proof he's no longer a threat to us in Ironforge. Get his beard.
Keep your
Yes, that's
feet on
right.
the ground.
His beard. We could rip off his head, but no, we are civilized people. Thank you. We'll just rip his beard off. Preferably kill him first, but you know. I think I've seen that one, Uthor. That particular bug. Oh no. They've captured Neptulon. What? Don't you see the horrible things happening before you? Yeah! Yeah, sure thing, Aronach. Is he gone? Is he having some... Aronach, are you okay? Is this Neptulon in the room with us right now? Oh, I want to be very clear about this, because this is how this works. Vashj'ir is getting bug negatives regardless. In fact, it's getting 3 of them. I've already decided. There are going to be 3 negatives for Vashj'ir, because it is an extraordinarily buggy zone. So even if we somehow miraculously have no bugs this playthrough around, it's still getting those 3 negatives. Having said that, I'm actually really curious which bugs, if any, we'll be getting this time around. The ideal for me would be if we see a bug I've personally never seen before. That's going to be difficult. I've done Vashj'ir a lot. Because I love the zone. But, like... we get all the bugs. Hopefully not literally all the bugs. We do still need to complete the zone. Oh, Vashj'ir is just such a good zone. Other than the colossal bugs. Oh god, Uther, that would be really, really funny. You remember I keep talking about the idea of a old team? Like the team of people whose job it is to go touch up old stuff? I unironically would just loose that team on Vashj'ir and be like, look, I understand that there's a lot of spindle and twine here. Rebuild the cutscenes from scratch if you have to, but fix this crap. Spend as much time as you need. You've got the budget. You've got the support. If you need something from another department, come to me. Fix it. Fix it, Uthor. By the way, you're in charge of that team, Uthor. Sorry, I meant to tell you about that. Sorry. I expect results. Alright, you deleted Vashj'ir. Cool. Alright, so you're fired without severance pay. Fired for gross negligence. Alright, let's rip off his beard. There we go. Alright, it's done. Hey, bud. It could be worse. The second guy, his name could be Wise.
What can I get for you today? Keep your feet on the ground.
How much you got?
See you soon.
Oh, these'll do nicely. I'll have the lads back on their feet as soon as I can make these somewhat edible.
Safe travels.
Bilgin Rock over yonder is something of a natural wonder. It's the only known source of incendicite in the world. Stuff's rare, highly sought, and ridiculously explosive. Hit it with a steel mining pick, you'll set off fireworks that'll set a room full of goblins to shame. Luckily, I've developed a spark-proof pick for such a thing. I'll lend it to you if you bring me back some incendicite. I'll split you on the profits, of course.
Keep your feet on the ground.
Better give me that profits.
You got my attention. Watch your back.
Oh, good, it's undamaged. You might want to wipe yourself off a bit there.
Be good.
I'm feeling less wobbly now, so I'm going to start setting up the level for some final measurements here. There's one last thing I need from you. There is a seismograph set up deep on Thelgend Rock to record any movements in the Earth. If things have been continuing to shift since the cataclysm, this will tell you.
Off with you.
Welcome.
Let's see it then.
See you soon.
Yeah, good riddance to bad rubbish. I'll burn the foul thing later so it doesn't stink up the camp.
Safe travels.
Thelgend's Rock's an important site here. We used to use it to study the bedrock formations and such. Of course, it can't be that easy. So Thelgend Rocks is also full of giant cave stalkers. As big as a dwarf and twice as hungry. Like I said, these fancy lads are researchers, not warriors, so I want you to see if you can get anything done while you're out there.
Keep your feet on the ground.
Well, I can do that. So, assuming I do continue the rewrites at all, there are... Excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4 rewrites that are... 5 rewrites that are what I like to think of as penned in. In other words, we're definitely 100% committed to doing those rewrite projects. The first is obviously finishing the Final Fantasy rewrite, because we're already 2 into that. The second is Star Trek, the third is Star Wars, the fourth is Mega Man, and the fifth is Warcraft. I know it's a roundabout way of answering you, but I like talking about the rewrite, what can I say? So, one way or another, yes, we're doing the Warcraft rewrite. Assuming we're doing rewrites at all. I may give up on the rewrites because, let's be honest, that's been something that's been on my mind all year. In the rewrite, Bud is just going to multiply every single time he bonks a troll on the head. Yes, that's right. Every time. Yep, you get it, Uthor. It spreads. And spreads until every troll is plunked. Yeah, me too, Logue. Look at the plus side. I might win the lottery. Did you just call me a waste of money, Blue Fusion Volt? Jesus. That's the second worst insult I've gotten today. Although, if someone were to immediately call me literally Hitler... See you around, Loke. Have a good day at work. I mean, the alternative is killing myself, Blue Fusion Volt, so... Damn it, 5! I knew it. Look, it's suicide or lottery tickets. There's the only options. Sentences to walk into without context. What are we working towards? Oh, duh. Now I gotta be honest, of all of the left trees, so far the only one that's really, really impressed me of all of them is Warrior. That's weird. I do like the South Seas Trading Company. Wait, no, the opposite of like. Whatever that is. You know, that didn't occur to me, Euro. I don't know if people can withstand me giving yet another story positive to this game. I mean, could you imagine the outrage? Oh my god. That's horrible, Uthor. Yeah, no, you create the bubble and then it bursts, of course. And then you're like, yep, I'm out. Then you bail. And then that's your next round. Carries forward some of your progress from the previous one. No consequences from their actions, of course. No, I agree. The WoW, the WoW interface is surprisingly well designed. Ignore the fact that I'm not looking at most of it because of add-ons. I think we can all agree that it looks infinitely better than FF14's, and that FF14 is a doo-doo head, which nobody likes. I never says. This is all that's left of the huge elemental that attacked you, a frothing orb of water that continues to fight your grip. Forma might be able to appreciate seeing proof that you helped stop another threat to the camp. I mean, do I have to? Okay, alright, whatever. I'll put it here. Yeah, it's a good combination. Anybody who's ever done interface design could tell you it's a lot harder to make it look good than you'd think. And it's especially funny because it's so easy to tell when it's not made well. All you have to do is think of a dozen random indie games where the interface just kind of feels thrown together, or looks cheap or crude, and it's like, yep. There's actually a worse thing than that, though. In my opinion. Excuse me, let me adjust that. The button says retire. That's really funny. You've probably seen this in more modern games, especially more modern AAA games. And it's the thing where the UI is way over-designed. Like, imagine TikTok creating an interface, and that's kind of what it looks like. Like, you open this, it's like, and it's got it's like a pulsing line around it, and there's this thing going zoom, 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 and there might be some kind of sound effect playing to show that you have it open, and there's like, each of these are outlined differently, and it's just, oh my god, it's just this cavalcade of noise. Oh, I didn't think of BFD. You're right, Jay Palmer. Yeah, there's also a heavy minimalist trend. I remember when that got started. That was the PS3 era. There was a game called El Shaddai, which was actually praised solely for the fact that it had, like, no interface at all. No HUD, no UE. And it was just... I don't know. I can enjoy a minimalist HUD. E-L... Hang on. El Shaddai. I think it's spelled that way. I might be getting my names wrong, so forgive me if I am. But just like everything else, minimalist HUD, like, you got to design it still, right? There still has to be some thought and effort and design being put into it. Because otherwise you just get a non-existent HUD.
Well met.
And that's not helpful.
Safe travels. Be good.
Oh, glorious. Beautiful stuff this hour. Good on you for not dropping your pick. Last person I said let the butt end hit the floor, and that part's not spark-proof.
See you soon.
Okay.
How are you?
Let's see what you got, eh?
Be good.
Wonderful. This should be all we need. Let's have a look.
Off with you.
Hello. See you soon.
Good job. I wouldn't be surprised if the horrid thing has eggs in there somewhere, but it'll do for now.
Safe travels.
The news needs to get to Menethil as soon as possible. I'll send you along my fastest ram.
Keep your
Wait,
feet on the ground.
You want to send
See
me
you
to...
soon. Safe travels. Great to meet you.
Where's your Oh, here we go. Fastest ram. Let's see how fast this is. Well, that's decently fast. I got a bunch of those, didn't I? Huh. Yeah, I'm not feeling a brickwork positive. What do y'all think? Because this is it. This is the wetlands right here. I mean, this is the kind of thing I'd expect in an FF14 zone. Heyo. Oh, sorry. I'll deal with that in a minute. That's an interesting question, Trihexia. Yeah, it's a swamp. Can agree. So, we've actually kind of seen this a little bit. Welcome to Menethil Harbor. What's left of it. Once again, the timeline's a little wonky because they act like this flooding is extremely recent. Like they are still putting out sandbags for this, which means this probably happened like yesterday.
Great to meet you.
Welcome to Menethil. Hope you got good news or a stiff drink.
Be good.
Oh, this is just lovely. Significant geological instabilities. Threat of sudden massive topological destabilization. Nice to hear that something bad might happen around here. Guess we'll pick up our flooded town and fly it off somewhere safe. Bah!
Keep your feet on the ground.
We barely pulled ourselves together after the flood when the Dark Iron hit the town. My men and I all rushed to defend the town, but the crazed fools retreated right into the keep. They're holed up good. We can't destroy the keep. Not with half the town in ruins already. Take my place. I take the leader on myself if I had to deal this blow. Enter there and kill him.
See you soon.
Okay, I can do that. You know a talent I would like on an Affliction Warlock? Mark of Agony has infinite duration. I would say close to 100% of the time, Trihex, if not actually 100% of the time. Like, approaching 100%, you know? Somewhere around there. Are you okay there, buddy? Screaming about flames consuming us all? What are you, Darth Maul? A nest-looking Metroidvania called Astalon. Well, it depends on what's more advantageous, Screaming. We actually know with total certainty that several developers were lied to about the release of a lot of SNES games. I'm not going to name examples, but there are several SNES games which developers were flat out lied to about how well they sold. In that case, they were saying, oh, those didn't sell well at all, because they didn't want to pursue them.
Well met.
We'll see, J. Palmer. Oh, he's dead, thank the makers. I don't like the looks of the blood. The dark iron I've tussled with were never this crazy. Something's getting to these sods.
Safe travels.
I wouldn't worry about it too much. Alright, try not to picture how this town smells right now. As we swim through it.
Talk to me.
My son Grimald's the light of my life. It warms me heart to see him playing with the other children. I can't help but worry, though. There's sharks not a few feet away. If it's deep enough for one to swim its way in here. Oh, I can't bear it. Please. You're clearly one gnome that's seen tougher situations than us townsfolk. Would you get rid of a few... You want me to kill sharks? You want me to kill sharks?
Greetings.
There's a lot to do here, Warlock, but we need to keep an eye out for the gift of fate. The flood rolled in right over our houses. It swept a good number of ocean dwellers with it. Menethil Bay is full of crabs now, ripe and ready for the picking. When life gives you crabs, you go crab fishing.
Life bless you.
That's, okay.
You need something?
I was once first mate on the Wave Mistress, a ship of the line in the Kultiris Third Fleet. The Doomed Fleet. Doomed, for on its last voyage the fleet was attacked by red dragons. Red dragons controlled by orcs. I remember that mission. Warcraft 2 reference. We didn't stand a chance against the dragonfire and our fleet was burned and sunk off the coast. I'm the sole survivor of those poor vessels. Bring me my meat. It's in the cellar of the inn. As far away as I put it from me, I can't go without it in the end.
Be careful.
Aww.
That's really weird. Sorry. Here's your mead.
Greetings.
Oh, I'm so very thirsty. Won't you buy a drink for this poor, pathetic fool?
See you later.
Oh, that hit the spite and loosens the tongue. Thanks, mate.
See you around.
I am the sole survivor of the Third Fleet, wrecked off the coast of the north. On one of our ships was hidden a great and terrible treasure. The eerie power of it keeps the souls of my brothers trapped within the ship's rotting hulls. I'm haunted by them day and night. First Mate Snelling calls for me. He's supposed to be dead, please. Look for them near the shipwrecks and just tell him to leave me alone.
Have a good one.
Okay, I'll go talk to the undead guy for you. Blood's not so bad, not as bad as the ones we had in Ironforge. You mean the one you caused? You watch your tongue. That was an honest mistake. You put a floodgate on a channel from the inside and trapped yourself. Minecraft reference. Honest mistake. And then you tunneled from the channel straight into the dining hall. Damn. We were finding carp behind the furniture for weeks. Well, at least the ale was safe.
Hey there. For the Alliance.
Oh, I see. See, what we really need for creative industries, or I guess all industries, is a chainsaw. Just go right through it with a chainsaw. Yeah, and we're done. Whew, all right. Okay. It's over there. Well, time to kill sharks. Sadness. A lot of kelp down here, too. Of course, salty turning. I mean, it's not exactly a major naval dock anymore, is it? Cataclysm saw to that. A few nights ago, my middle niece was being taken to one of those conveyor sushi restaurants. And she flat out refused to eat any of the sushi. The reason why is because she can't stand seaweed. It's just so gross. So we're like, okay, here, have this other sushi, which didn't have any seaweed. And she's like, oh, wow, this is much worse. Can I have the seaweed one instead, please? Yes, here you go. Thank you. And then when I asked, wait, so you like seaweed? She's like, no. But you're eating seaweed. Yeah, that's because it tastes good. Okay. Oh, 100% on purpose. Oh gosh, how old was I when I first had sushi? I know exactly where it was. I could point to it on a map. But I would have been... 12 or 11, somewhere in that range. My mother was so proud of me because I was willing to try brave new types of food. And I even remember the exact first piece of sushi I ever got. Squid. I hated it, for reference. The ships move fast when you're under here. Oh, this actually increases swim speed too. I didn't know that. I just had this random thought. I wonder if unending breath increases swim speed. It actually does. Very, very little, but it does. It's better than nothing. Oh my god, Pillars of Snow. Oh yeah, speaking of which, sorry, I meant to say this earlier. Thank you for putting up with me earlier, Pillars of Snow. As I was desperately trying to get us killed. Alas, I failed in my appointed task. That's because most of the wasabi here, well, I don't know in Lithuania, Europe, but in the States, most of the wasabi you get is actually horseradish paste. It's not actually wasabi. I've never had real wasabi, and I probably never will, honestly. Now, as it happens, I really like horseradish, so I'm kind of okay with that. But I would like to try it someday. Oh god, Pillars of Snow. That's even worse. That's even worse. How was it, Bragwin, other than giving you a kick? Whoops, wrong document. There. See, that's news to me, Pillars of Snow. I didn't know that. So let's talk quest design, shall we? How many quests have we seen where it's like, hey, go do this stuff underwater. Here's a buff that makes you move really fast while underwater. Or here's a thing that makes it so you can, target your thing quicker. Or here's a thing to make it so that you can breathe underwater without issue. Or here's an extra little ability while you're underwater. And then there's these quests, which do absolutely nothing. That's on top of spreading the mobs out way too far in an area that, by definition, is completely uninteresting to look at. Because this is our view while we're doing these quests. With a not... I'd say... it took about 15. So yeah, it's about a 30% drop rate on that quest item. We didn't even kill 10 sharks because we don't even see 10 sharks because they're so spread out. I still don't have 10 sharks. So anyways, negative to gameplay is what I'm trying to get at. I mean, that's the background over there. That's a good question, Darker. Let's go look at our vanilla zone, which is basically the same. I mean, it has changed. You know, the ship is underwater, the docks are smashed, the town is flooded. But these are still vanilla textures and vanilla assets. So So, make of that what you will. Yeah, that's one of my favorite types of spice. You eat it and you're like, yeah, okay. Oh. Oh. Oh, God. Ah, glug, glug, glug. I believe so. Well, I mean, the kids are obviously still... Oh, no, those are updated kid models. Holy crap. I'm actually shocked.
What's happening?
Ah, bless your heart. You to do such a thing for a married woman like me. You're too kind.
Safe travels.
If you were single, I'd probably still help you. Just saying.
What can I do for you?
Don't bother with the smaller claws. They're more work than the shell in the shell than the meat's
For
worth.
the Alliance. Light bless you. King's honor, friend. Go with honor,
The
friend.
Murlocs are crawling out from the deep waters and building their villages on the coastline. They're harassing our fishers and merchants and must be stopped. One of these Murlocs, Gobbler, skulked with the other bluegill and harries merchants along the road, always retreating to the safety of the nearby hovels. Our merchants are in jeopardy and we pay to secure them. Gobbler prowls the river, go kill his ass.
Careful. Go with honor, friend.
Not long ago, there was a merchant vessel, the Blind Princess, that was raided by Murlocs. Although the ship escaped intact, much of its cargo was dragged overboard by the creatures, including a very valuable statuette of Tyrannus Menethil.
Light bless you.
But as you can see, Darkrai, this is still just a vanilla zone. I mean, I've seen worse vanilla zones, but I've seen better too. Yeah, as much as I kind of hate Nazmir on several levels, I cannot deny that it's not one of the best swamps, like, ever, really. Like, I don't want to imply nothing, but I'm just saying, Miyazaki looked at that and was like, that's a great idea! Oh god, Silithus. We don't talk about Silithus. Nothing good ever came out of that desert. As Varrock can attest to. The crate is covered with claws, scratches, and the marks of water damage. There's an armload of red bottles? I'll have to check other places. 130 something, I want to say, Euro. I have actually counted it. In fact, I even counted it recently. But I have since forgotten the exact number. Not as many as EverQuest has. Nothing has as many quests, or zones, as EverQuest has. Yeah, Kata ups the number quite a bit. Well, I say Kata. What I mean is vanilla ups the zone count by quite a bit. I'll just rip this Murloc's head off here. Now, if you think about it, wouldn't that be really, really gross? I don't think so, Yura, no. I can check. Oh, I can check the spreadsheet. I got the spreadsheet up. Arathi. Nope, I did not. Yeah, just imagine you're chopping a fish head off. Splorch. Rip there, shred. Blood everywhere. Fish blood everywhere. BFA Arathi will have to think about a little bit. I'm still not sure exactly if or how we can cover Warfronts, or if that's going to be yet another abandonment negative. Well, apparently I was high here, because when I went back through, I was not impressed. We pry open the barrel to find the pungent odor of cheese. It's wet, but still tasty. I am not eating wet cheese. The Menethil statuette. Yeah, it tastes like despair for some reason. I don't know.
Good day to you.
Fitzsimmons sent you, didn't he? It's been so long.
Safe travels.
Sailors of the Third Fleet are damned forever, cursed to wander these shores in agony. Fitzsimmons' anguish is tied to us. As long as we suffer, there's no rest for him either. You must put the end to me suffering and be cruel. Purge their ghosts from the plane and return to me.
Have a good one.
I know, a cult has gotten in. I'll fumigate later, Darkrai, don't worry. Yeah, I actually distinctly remember, not even before the Visions patch went in. I forget which patch that was, but the patch that added the Cursed Visions. So before that, I really liked the Warfronts. I enjoyed doing them. And I was actually trying to get the whole suit from it, which I do actually have, it's worth noting. So I decided to go back and just start, smashing them out, trying to get as many of the cosmetics as I possibly could. And I had an issue getting in there because nobody was doing it. And I'm pretty sure that was either the same patch or the patch right after it. And I just could not get a group to save my life. Anyways, thank God delves don't involve other players, am I right? Hashtag other players. I mean, they had a lot of plans for Warfronts that all went nowhere. Just completely abandoned. Well, in this one case, I don't actually blame Blizzard on that, Bragman. The community, as Huthor has pointed out, was really, really against Warfronts. So, meh. I repeat my curse. Hashtag other players. My Void Walker, oh, there you go. He's looking a little different there. Let's see. Yeah, no kidding, Asmira Star. It's one of the reasons I'm excited about follower dungeons, too, despite them being cold and soulless. Was there any PvP in Warfronts? Yeah, that's Sounds weird.
How are you?
The cries of anguish have been stifled, but the source of the curse still exists.
See you later.
I mean, I could be misremembering, but I recall no PvP Warfront. Which I know sounds funny when you say it out loud like that, but it's true. Now, the PvP Island expeditions, those can go to hell. To break the curse, there must be a reckoning. Captain Halidor damned us all to recover a forbidden artifact, the Eye of Paleth. His spirit still covets it, standing guard over the stronghold of his own ship. Vanquish the souls of the one who cursed us. Defeat the captain. Okay, I can do
Have
that.
a good one.
Yeah, no, I'm right. That's... Brigwin making me doubt myself here. Yeah, I was going to say, I thought they were purely a PvP event. Like I said, I just did them for fun. And, again, to get that outfit. Which, I wonder... wrong button. Let's see, that would have been... Nope, further down. A little above this. Thought it had presence here. I didn't see it. Oh well. Actually, surely I've got just the helmet I can show you, right? Right, game? That would have been... Where are we at? That's Kata. That's Bendaria. Is it because I'm a clothy? Is that what this is? Yeah, here we go. This suit right here. The 7th Legionnaires. God, that looks hysterical on a gnome. See, I know I had this suit. Don't lie to me. Okay, it doesn't look quite as impressive on a gnome, I'm not going to lie to you, but this is the suit that I bothered to farm, right here. What? I actually did Ashran quite a bit too, but for the exact same reason as I did Warfronts. No, that's a lie. Sorry, that's not true. I did Ashran for cosmetics. I did Warfronts for cosmetics and fun. Which one was Strand? I mean, their relationship with PvP has been interesting for pretty much all of WoW's history. Hell, you notice they stopped doing those arena servers, too. Tournament servers? Unless they have and I completely missed it. Oh, the 2-round based one. I liked Strand of the Ancients. I actually did that one. And that was a BG, and I still did it. whatever.
Well met. Be careful, or the Alliance.
Here's your stupid satchel.
Light
And here's your
bless you.
Murloc head. Give me my stuff. Where's the guy to turn this into? Nah, whatever. Maybe he went inside to get a drink. Hey, excuse me?
Great to meet you.
Yeah, I got this cursed eye for a dude.
Safe travels.
The Eye of Paleth. You say Fitzsimmons sent you. Oh, by the light, not again. Fitzsimmons is dead, lass. You're not the first to come to me like this either. What?
Watch your back.
The Eye of Paleth was retrieved and cleansed a long time ago. We thought the curse was lifted. Yeah, that was a vanilla quest. Not a year ago, poor Fitzsimmons passed on, his body ruined by drink. Ever since, now and again, people claim he's spoken to them and told them to get the eye. Cursed to roam the earth forever. Not even poor Fitzsimmons could escape. Don't ask me what you actually brought me. You're better off forgetting any of this ever happened. Okay. So, to continue to talk about how bad of a zone this is... No, I'm kidding.
How are you?
You've done good work here. Asking you to hold sandbags would be a waste, to be honest. I'd rather send you where your skills are needed. We've got a small outpost up in the marsh. Swiftgear's the gnome that built it, but you'll want to talk to Shyla Slobchisel. Help her with Ironforge matters. I'll admit it, she is a looker, but I wouldn't make the mistake of getting fresh with her.
See you soon.
Okay, that's a weird thing to say to me. It's one of the ones from Dragonflight. I forget which hero. This one, I think.
Well met.
Stoutfist sent you, huh? He's a good captain. Runs his bread mill. Just wish he'd stop staring at me midriff. Don't let me catch you doing it either. We've got work to do out here.
See you
I'm
soon.
getting more and more reports of raptor attacks in the area. I'm seeing to it that this place is safe enough for more settlements to start occurring, so I'll put a bounty on the buggers. A lot have been cleared out already, but the Highland raptors to the north have been growing in number.
Keep your feet on the ground.
I can go deal with that.
Greetings.
I've skinned crocs in the wetlands for years. Things have changed, though. See, not to bore you with a sob story, but the cataclysm flooded Menethil Harbor. Our house went with it. My wife and kids don't have a place to stay, so I need to make as much money as I can to get us a roof again.
Go with honor, friend.
Yep, that sounds about like my life. Not literally, of course.
Need assistance? You have a great day now.
Have you heard that some raptors are intelligent enough to be domesticated? It's true. I've seen hunters tame them. I get quite lonely out here, even with Wenner to keep me company. Pet's just what I need to brighten my spirits. A little baby raptor would be best. While you're out slaughtering the adults, can you bring me back an egg?
Be seeing you.
Sure. I don't know, Asmaristar. So, here's one for you. For you personally, what is the single thing that they removed that bothers you the most? Of all the things they've removed from this game. Battle for the Undercity, Battle for the Strand, whatever it was called. Any of the launch event stuff. God, I would fire you instantly here. Just, bam, you're fired. Battle for Lordaeron is out? Seriously? Yeah, I was gonna say, how is that out? It's literally part of the initial quests for BFA. Also, of course, you pick the BFA thing at the door. Oh, the Mage Tower cosmetics, yeah. I think they're just trying to be verbose about it, because they have no problem saying kill several times. In fact, and sometimes they specifically say murder. Hold on. Yeah, it says there's a way to relive the battle. Give me a second. Sorry, I'm sufficiently curious to check this right now. Also, apparently I'm muted. When did I mute myself? Where? Oh, apparently this is not the Valley of Wisdom. Look, I don't know Orgrimmar, okay?
I haven't got all day. Dark Lady, watch over you.
Huh. Now will it let me in by myself is the real question. Yeah, I noticed the Talanji thing was there too. Well, I'll poke at that later. I'll also be right back. Oh, yeah. Beautiful quest. Beautiful quest. Beautiful ground? Beautiful EverQuest ground. We'll go with that. We'll go with that. Oh god, Kotor grass. I just realized the Wetlands is going to take so long, I'm not going to finish it today. I can hear them already making dinner, and my usual cutoff time's only half an hour from now. And I've still got, yeah, 3 separate quest hubs to do. Ah, the Wetlands. At least we got the dungeons done. I'm really happy about that. That means we're almost guaranteed to finish off Searing Gorge tomorrow. And I can live with that. By the way, this is kind of a weird one, but probably the thing that bothers me the most that's removed from the game. The corrupted gear from the end of BFA. Cataclysm, I believe, Jamie. So, like, immediately afterwards. Corrupted gear was a thing where... Oh, gosh. So... So, gear would drop. It had corrupted stats on it. And the corruption would increase your corruption meter, which you just had, like, an amount that you were corrupted. But in addition to that, there were corrupted abilities which would come with it. Those abilities were very, very cool. Like, they were really neat, fun, interesting things, like summoning eyeballs or meteors, or changing you into a whirling blade of death for a few minutes. It was just cool stuff, right? The kind of thing that Huthor hates, for example. So, all of that, you know, all of the corrupted gear, you would have to balance it, because the more corruption you had, the more negative detriments you'd have all the time. And so, you could handle quite a bit of corruption on yourself, especially if you knew what you're doing, but it would get harder and harder and harder to do. At certain set points of corruption, you would start to have whole new detriments on top of you. So, like, at low corruption, it's like, yeah, okay, occasionally there's like a circle on the ground you just have to not stand in to not take damage. Simple stuff, right? But later on, those circles are huge, and also there's like eyeballs that are chasing you, and you get feared periodically. It would turn into much, much, much worse detriments. But of course, you want all that corrupted gear because of those wonderful, amazing stats. So, managing your corruption was a very risk-reward kind of a thing, which, you know, I love that kind of mechanic in general. Now, there were a couple of caveats on top of that. First, you could actually take it to Mother, and she would purify the corruption. That gets rid of the super cool corruption thing, but it also gets rid of the corruption stat on it. So if you happen to get a piece of corruption gear that has really good stats, you now have a really good piece of gear. The other thing is the cloak, which was the legendary chain. The cloak gives you corruption resistance, and the higher level your cloak is, the higher rank it is, the more corruption resistance it has, which means the more corruption you can withstand. So, the way you're probably thinking, well, hang on, Lore, how do you raise the rank of your cloak? Well, that's easy. You go do the visions. And the visions were awesome. The visions were honestly proto-delves, to put it very, very bluntly. You could go in by yourself or with another friend. Pax and I duoed most of those together. And they would scale based on your party size, and they were mean. But as you did them, you would get buffs and benefits, which allowed you to then go further, do better. Like when he and I first started doing visions, we only got to like the second trash pull before we wiped. But that gave us a little bit of progress in order to keep going further and further and further, and you get it.
What can I do for you?
Happy birthday, Vandalia. And no, I haven't answered you yet, Tsar. A job well done. Consider this reward not from me, but from Ironforge. The preservation of Cosmodon is a matter that concerns every dwarf.
Safe travels.
What about gnomes? What do you mean, gnomes? I'm a gnome. You seem trustworthy enough. I was sent here by Ironforge to recover a shipment of gold ingots. They're part of the Ironforge Royal Treasury, stamped with the Royal Seal. Only an idiot would steal them for profit, far too easy to trace. Oddly enough, this place is full of idiots. Moss-hide gnolls. I don't know how many gnolls you fought before, but they're foul and brutal beasts. I need you to slay them, recover the missing ingots.
See you soon.
Can I help you? Off and away. Alrighty then.
Wonderful. These should be ready to hatch within a day. Now I just need to cobble up a raptor pen.
You have a great day now.
Before they all hatch simultaneously, what could possibly go wrong? I've been coming up short on parts for my recent engineering projects. The other day I saw why. The moss-hide gnolls have been taking off with them. I don't have any idea what they could want for them, but I need my gizmos back. They're probably strewn all over the marsh by now, but if you see any, could you gather some, please?
Off and away.
Hello, Evo.
Need help? For the Alliance, go with honor, friend.
I've been tempted to go after the big kill. The largest crocolisk out there, Horror Jaw. His hide alone would be enough to get my family out of this hole. But I'm no fool. One mistake and I could lose a leg, or a life. And then where would my wife and kids be? Still homeless and without a father to care for them. Don't worry, I got your back. And then I kill him.
Light bless you.
And now it's not a problem anymore. Don't worry, I will take care of your wife for you. Oh god, that sounds horrible. And that's exactly how I meant it. You want to hear something funny, Huthor? Before I answer Zar's question. I was told flat out recently that if BFA has a net positive story score, then there's something wrong with my review system. I was just thinking about it because it honestly would not surprise me if BFA does end up being net positive. I don't think it's going to be super positive because there's just a lot of stuff you got to push through there, but anyways, so since I've written a couple of things in my life. What is more difficult to write, drama or comedy? So comedy is down to a science at this point. Once you understand the math of comedy, you can write comedy. Yes, Vandalia. So I honestly think that once you've done your research and done your homework, writing comedy is relatively easy. Now, there's kind of an asterisk there, because the barrier to entry on comedy is low. Writing really good comedy, that takes talent, time, and most importantly of all, more time, because you really got to be familiar with whatever it is you're doing, and you really have to know exactly how to nail it, right? By contrast, I actually think writing drama is very difficult. Even as in lower barrier to entry, lower floor, right? Because drama, as Darkrai has already gotten ahead of me on this, is very, very easy to drift into drama. And quite frankly, a lot of writers, including writers for this very game, drift too far from drama, which is engaging, interesting stuff, to drama. And that's aggravating. So, pound for pound, I would go ahead and say drama is harder to write properly. Yeah, I think the thing that's really going to drag BFA down is twofold. First, everything about the war campaign missions. Those are not going to score well. Let's just get that out there. Excuse me. I'm out of water, so just drying up slowly here. Okay, now I'm out of water. I had one last sip there. But yeah, the war campaign is absolutely going to drag BFA through the dirt. I will struggle to think of story positives for the war campaigns. The second thing that's going to drag BFA down to the dirt is 2 whole zones. That would be this zone and this zone. Past that, I think BFA will do fine. I'm so sorry, Jay Palmer. Are you okay? Or are they holding your family hostage to make you say these terrible, terrible things? Wink once for yes. Okay, we'll send specialists. Evo is a great rescuer. She knows how to rescue turtles. She'll figure it out. It'll be cool. I do like Flynn. I unabashedly like Flynn. But, yeah. We'll see. I should probably mention that you're probably thinking, Laura, you're just being unreasonable because of your memories. No, I'm actually being reasonable by saying that they probably won't score very well. Because if I just went by memory, I hated those zones. Like, I really did not enjoy going through those. I spit a lot of venom, especially at the northern zone, the Storm Song Valley. Ugh. Anyways, I'm glad you liked them. Sorry. I just realized how rude that sounds. Oh, it's entirely the story. 100% the story. And having said that, I did like one story arc in the Northern Zone. I'm not going to spoil, but it's this story arc right over here.
Well met.
That should be about 8 ingots stolen.
Keep your feet on
Oh,
the
well
ground.
done. The guard appreciates you. You've done our city a fine favor, but something new's come up. Yeah, I know there's like a bunch
Safe
of
travels.
quests, so.
Keep your feet on the
I may have
ground.
seen them while you're out, but the Dark Iron clan has been spotted in the area. They're never up to any good. It looks like they're kidnapping the Moss Hides for some reason. I don't know what their game is, but we're putting a stop to this before more foul play happens. If you're worried about fairness, try asking politely first. See how far that gets you.
See you soon.
I know we just attacked the gnolls ourselves, but I'm not about to let the Dark Iron capture them as slaves. For one, we just found the thieves and took back what was missing, so justice served. For another, whatever work the Dark Iron will be putting them to isn't something I want to allow. So, the gnolls need to be freed.
Safe travels.
Do these quests ever end?
King's honor, friend. Be careful.
The answer is no, they do not. There is no hope. Vol'dun did have Dolly and Dot.
Would you like to purchase something? Be seeing you. You have a great day now. Hey!
No. Let's make some room here really quick. You know, I never thought I could like, I don't know her name, even more than I did in BFA. And then she showed up in War Within.
Be seeing you.
Me? Go to art school? Don't be ridiculous. I couldn't possibly be good enough at art to do that. There we go. Maybe we should sing a song about how we're all miserable and depressed. No. Mira's amazing. Please don't aggro me. I don't want to kill you. I'm here to save you. I'm here with your droids. I'm here with Ben Kenobi. No, I've always been a terrible artist, and I've always thought so. But 4 years in high school of art classes, and I could never draw worth a damn. That's when I resolved to conquer the world instead. It was the only logical thing to do. My sprite work is excellent. Thank you very much. That's different. Yep. Typical Hitler arc. You know how it goes. I'm also quite proud of my animation, but that's very different. That's true of Luthor. They have the same model. Or mesh, I suppose. Oh yeah, canceling Disney Plus was such a pain. I actually had to do it twice. That's not a joke, by the way. I picked up Disney Plus for the Streaminations we did recently. And then I found out a month later that I still had it. Like, as in a month after I canceled it, I still had it. See, that sounds like a tagline of a new TV show. Rejected from art school. Now lore plans for world domination. What will he come up with today? You missed it earlier, Savacom. There's an entire quest chain about summoning demons. It's okay, now I'm playing a warlock, so I can do it professionally. That would have been very funny, Lord Aramon. Affliction's weird. But yes, I'm going to go with I do like it overall. Which makes Warlock have 3 excellent specs, which is just ridiculous. Oh, as you can see, I'm having a couple issues right now. Jeez Louise. I just run into a damage wall all of a sudden. That's true, Volpera are anti-union. Never forget. Like, I heard they even took that quest out. But we remember. The demon's going on strike. Yeah, the Volpera Unlock quest involves union busting. That is not a joke, to be very clear. In fact, based on how it's written, it's almost assuredly someone somewhere ranting or venting about the union busting that's been done to them. Because, like, they kind of go down the checklist of typical union-busting tactics. You know that kungaloosh we made up in Sholazar, Vandalia? They're just enjoying a pint. That is correct, J. Palmer. Companies tend to spend a fairly large amount of money proving that their employees are worse off with the union. For the longest time, the approach they would use is they would try to conflate the unions with the mafia. Now, this is an interesting approach because for a decent amount of human history here in the States, the unions were with the mafia. So you can kind of see where they got that idea from.
What can I do for you? Keep your feet on the ground. See you soon.
You found out who's pulling the strings on the operation here. You're no Dark Snare, is directing the Dark Iron from a camp to the east. It might have been her orders to no steal the gold in the first place. What's more, she's a wanted criminal, been inciting the rebellion and attacks against Ironforge since Magni was still alive.
Safe travels.
That's a little bit more of a nuanced answer than you'd think. J. Palmer. Suffice it to say, there are still plenty of unions in the United States which have some mafia-y tendencies and or connections, but that is for the most part in the past. I didn't know that, Salty Turnham. But yeah, as always, the answer is a very firm, it depends. For example, at one point in time, the Oil Riggers Union... Not Oil Riggers, Oil Drillers? No. You know what? I'm not actually sure what it is, but the Oil Something Union was 100% Mafia connected. But that's old info at this point. That's like 60s and 70s. So I have no idea how true that is anymore. And then there's the Police Union. We don't talk about them.
How are you?
A job well done. You brought one of Ironforge's most wanted to justice today. I'd say you earned a mighty fine reward. Yeah, can I move on to the next zone, please? No? Well, of course not. I got 3 more quest hubs in this stupid zone. Hi, Blade Tival. I suppose my outburst just gives away, but we're still stuck in the frickin' wetlands. Professor Wilgar's been leading an excavation in the mountains southeast of here for some time. He had some raptor problems in the day, but things are going better recently. Just the other day, we got word he had to evacuate the entire dig site again. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I can't imagine the Cataclysm making a quarry any safer than it was before.
Safe travels.
Yep, time to redo Elwyn Forest again. God dang it. Pretty bad, Yura. There's a lot of pointless backtracking, and a lot of quests that are just... There's too many quests. I know that sounds like a weird thing, because... Let me try to explain that a little bit. So you see, I'm an idiot, right? That's it. That's the explanation. I hope that explains it. Now, the problem here is that none of these quests are interesting. When you have boring quests, the best possible thing to do is to make them quick or finite, like only so many of them. If you have lots of boring quests, then the boring gets worse. It's like a multiplier, right? It's like, oh my god, why is this still happening?
What can I do for you?
Yep, and we do still have 3 quest hubs left. I wasn't actually joking about that.
How are you?
My god, Savicon. Well met, Warlock. We've got a raptor problems for sure. Of a sort. More like the entire dig site decided to attack us. I've never seen the rocks and fossils so upset.
Keep your feet on the ground.
Listen, Loss. Any good archaeologists know the risks that come with the job. If you don't unearth an ancient evil or get cursed by wicked spirits at least once in your career, you're not digging up anything worthwhile. Now, the real archaeologists know that no things like a fossilized bone reanimating into a skeletal creature is a reason to stop working.
Be good.
Okay, I'll go
Great
kill
to meet you.
20? You want me to get 20 things? You know, I'm gonna stop reading this out loud. Is that cool?
Talk to me.
Although this one's called Strike the Earth, so lol. But anyways, moving on. That's true, Huthor. They make Nazmir interesting by putting frickin' Bwan Samdi in it. If you don't understand how big of a deal it is, that's hysterical. So, Vendali asks, how did I decide the order of the zones? Oh, geez, it was a whole jigsaw puzzle. I had to make sure that I was spreading out characters. So I had 4 characters to level throughout the Kata stuff. 2 Alliance and 2 Horde on each side, on each continent. Except we actually have 3 over here if you're paying attention, but ignore that. And then I had to break apart each zone into, like, roughly, okay, so this is going to be the human zones, this is going to be the undead zones, and over here is going to be the gnome zones, etc., etc. Then I had to make sure that the arcs made any kind of sense in any way that makes sense. For example, going straight from Lockwood to Wetlands makes sense. Going straight from Ashenvale to Stonetalon Peaks makes sense. In any case where there was no direct through line, I just kind of followed whatever felt even remotely natural for level chaining or for just general progression. For example, going straight from Ungoro to Fellwood doesn't make a lot of logical sense, but the only thing that leads to Fellwood is Ashenvale, and Ashenvale just goes too neatly into Stonetalon. So instead, we do the entire southern Kalimdor arc to conclusion, all the way to Ungoro. Then we go up north to Fellwood and into Winterspring, because the alternative would be go to South Barrens, pause, go up to do Fellwood and Winterspring, pause, and then go back down to the Thousand Needles, which makes no sense at all. Stuff like that. I actually spent quite a while routing this one out. I have a fairly extensive and not entirely neat spreadsheet I've been using to help keep track of everything. I just noticed these are Paleolithic elementals. Which is a shame because they could have been Paleo elementals. I have 3 of them, Savicom. One of them is designed to keep track of what I'm doing in what order. One of them is keeping track of how zones, instances, bosses, and cutscenes are reviewing. And one of them is keeping track of how the classes are reviewing. If I was forced to make a deal with the Loa, who'd I pick? Bwonsamdi. 100%. You might think, oh, it's just because you like him. Actually, no. Bwonsamdi's pretty good about keeping his deals. And I need a Loa who's actually going to be playing on the level. Ugh, only losers read quests. That's why I didn't read the 3. You know what, just for that, we're going to read these quests out loud. Screw you. We're reading them. We're doing it live. And Cassia didn't notice. The land here in the wetlands is pretty messed up. Floods, earthquakes, and on top of it all, even the ground's got a wild hair now. I never thought we'd be attacked by our own dig site, but sure enough, big chunks of it are rampaging around, killing every dwarf they see. You look like a strong, strapping young gnome. You mind going down there and slapping some sense into the clods? Now, I'm in charge of supplying this dig. It's not that bad, but I'm having to pick up and move out. That wasn't exactly ideal. Archaeologists need tools, you know. You can't run around pulling up priceless antiquities with your bare hands. If you're going back to the dig site, can you bring back the tools that got left behind? Sure. Oh, Jesus Christ, Uthor. Yeah, Bwonsamdi has no problem keeping his deals, because he can afford to. That being said, there is another Loa I would consider making a deal with. You probably know who it is. In many settings, there's a thing where, you know, creatures are incapable of lying when making a deal. Is such a thing in WoW? No. There is nothing, like, there's actually very little rules magic in WoW. And when I say very little, I mean, I think there's actually none. But I only say that because I can't think of any off the top of my head. So, no, none of that even exists within the WoW setting at all. They can lie as much as they want to. And yeah, Johnny was correct. Oh, now I gotta sit up. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Thank you, Ryman, as always, for the sub. If you would like to put that towards up to 3 things of your choice, please let me know. Or be destroyed forever. I'm okay with either, really. If you want, you can make a deal with me, man. Oh, you actually put it towards something. Damn. So close to that Ryman soul. Ah. So close. Castlevania. I'm guessing early Castlevania. Skyrim and KOTOR 2. You got it. That's true, Savacom. Is it out, Luthor? Or do you mean me doing it? I said that wrong. Okay. That's, you know what I meant. Are you excited for it existing, or are you excited for it streaming it? That's kind of what I was meaning. I suppose the answer to that could have also been yes. If I had free time in my career, I should make a quest path add-on to show the story flow order. Yeah. That's kind of what the Warcraft is, if you think about it. I know, that's a YouTube video, but still, I stand by it. Put a lot of work into that.
Hello.
Torrin. Okay.
Safe travel.
See, not so bad, huh? I almost wish all me finds decided to dig themselves up for me. Make my job a lot easier. Of course, you made it easier too. Much obliged, so...
See you soon.
When we holed up to get away from the raptors, we put ourselves right next to a whole slew of Dragonma orcs. I've heard stories in Menethil how the Dragonma are cruder barbarians than other orcs. They strangle black dragons with their bare hands. I don't know how much of that is true, but we don't know. We can't just sit up there in the hills. Oh God, look at her outfit. It's getting worse. You've got the chops for it. Head out there and kill those orcs.
Keep your feet on the ground.
I do like killing orcs.
Welcome.
Thank you, Creamy.
Keep your feet on the ground.
Great to meet you. Safe travels.
Off with you.
That sounds like I'm out of time. So tomorrow, at roughly, whenever we start, we'll go ahead and continue the Wetlands. Either way, I'll see you guys.